here. So today we're at another island here off the coast of Florida, and we're going to be metal detecting with the Makro Cruiser. All right guys, so I do have a pretty lengthy list of different things that y'all wanted to see. Since I can't obviously cover everything in one video, I'll let you know what we're going to be doing in this video. So this is the first hunt that I'm doing with the Cruiser. So normally I like setting it in the recommended beach settings from the manufacturer, and then I like to play around in that first. So I will be hunting in the beach mode today with the Multi-Kruzer, but here's a couple of things that I will be doing with this unit. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is I will be hunting down by the water line first. So it is low tide right now. So here you can kind of see it. So now there are a couple of lines here of grass. So these are the different tide lines. So you can see our boat sitting out there. There's probably a good, I don't know, maybe 30 feet between the water line and the first line of grass. So I am going to be hunting in that area. I will also be hunting in the wet sand. So again, that's going to be down closer to the water. And then I'm also going to try and let you guys hear the chatter, if any, that I get while in the water or in the wet sand area. So that's primarily what I'm going to be doing today. So before we get going, I am also out here with the Ceto scoop. This is the smaller Ceto scoop. This is the 6 3/4 inch, I believe it is. I have my water shoes, I've got my digger pouch, my gloves. I do have my macro pinpointer here in my digger bag as well, so if we have to use that, we will. All right, so I'm gonna get set up and we can get to doing some metal detecting. All right guys, so we're gonna start by turning the unit on. Here is the on and off button. There we go. So you just push it and hold it down for a couple of seconds, and then you'll see it start going through the motions. So over here you can see the different modes. We've got Gen, 2-tone, 3-tone, 4-tone, beach, and deep. Now you guys can refer to my last video of this Cruiser unit to see what the different modes do as far as which one is best for your different hunting environment and what you're looking for. All right, so as I mentioned earlier in the video, I am going to be hunting in beach, so let's go ahead and change to beach mode. So to do that, you just come down here to your little control panel and hit the down button, and you can see this little box here. Hopefully you can see that in the camera. You can see it dropping down. So we're going to go ahead and be in beach mode, and you saw when I switched from 4-tone to beach, the discrimination automatically adjusts. So here we go. So there's 4-tone, beach. So it automatically adjusts the discrimination, and it's right at about 15 or so. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do my ground balance now. It's automatically set to 90, but we know that that's not necessarily gonna work here for the beach environment. So let's go ahead and do a ground balance. All right, so to do your ground balance, you'll see right here on the bottom of the control panel, it says GB, and it's got a little dash pointing to this button here. So if you hit this button once, it automatically shows the 90 here on your main screen, but if you hit it and hold it, down here on the bottom, you'll see it's telling you to pump the coil. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so this looks pretty good. So now we can go ahead and do our ground balance and pump our coil. All right, there. So when you're pumping it, it'll do a beep, and that lets you know that it has ground balance. So it's set it at 0, which is pretty standard for here at the beach. All right, guys, so we're down here by the water line, and I did go ahead and redo my ground balance, but it still stayed at 0, 0. So that's to be expected. So I'm just gonna kind of work this water line here and see what we can find. So right off the bat, this unit is very quiet, and while I'm not completely submerging my coil in the water, I am touching the water. Whoop. So yeah, even putting my coil in the water, this unit is very quiet. So I'm not getting any kind of overloading, I'm not getting any chatter. Now granted, if you like hit it on the sand or something like that, it'll chatter, it'll be like beep, beep. It'll make a little blip, but yeah, even just swinging my coil back and forth, this unit is super duper quiet in the salt water. Yeah, so all right, so I'm gonna come back up here a little bit and keep working this water line here. So So this is essentially silent search. There is no threshold sound in beach mode. All right, guys. So I moved a little bit up away from the water, and I've got my first target here. So hopefully y'all can see the screen there. It's in the, well, it's pretty close to a 70, right at a 70. And depth-wise, you can see the depth. It flashes right here on the side of the screen. It's pretty much going all the way up to the top, which means it's not very deep. So we need to figure out, all right, so right about here. Let's see what it is. So this is my first target, so we can get an idea of our target IDs. Oh, I see it. So 71, it's pretty, kind of jumpy around in the high 70s. It's bottle cap. There you go, first target, bottle cap. All right guys, so I've got another target here. This one's pretty solid in the 30s. Well, 20s and 30s. So this is significantly lower than where the bottle caps that I found were ringing up in. So that makes me think it's not a bottle cap. Should be. I think I found it. Yep. So, I'm assuming that's aluminum of some kind. Yeah. Alright guys, so I'm working my way here. I'm doing a zigzag here in the water, well, in the water area between the water line and the first grass line here. And I've got my first significantly higher target. So this is ringing up in the very high 90s. So let's see what it is. All right. I think I see it. Oh, check it out, guys. It's a little car. Let's go wash it off. Yeah. Looks like a Chrysler 300 maybe? Let's see, let's see. Oh, nope. Nope, that looks like a Charger. A Dodge Charger. Let's see. 2011 Dodge Charger Rt. Woo! Check it out, guys. It's been a while since I found a little car, or really any little toy, honestly. Very nice. All right. So yeah, that sounded, and actually let me let you guys listen to how that sounded so you can hear the difference between a bottle cap, let me grab one of my bottle caps out, and this car. All right, so got my bottle cap here, we've got my car here. So let me let you guys have a listen to it so you can hear the different tones in the beach mode. All right guys, so here's the bottle cap. Now if you get closer to it, the tone does change. So that was about a ½ inch above the bottle cap. the tone changed as well as the IDs. So let me see if you guys can see that. So here's about 4 inches above it. Okay, here's about a 1/2 inch above it. All right, so here's the car. Got another target here. It's jumping around in the 60s and 70s, so I'm thinking it's going to be a bottle cap. Oh, nope, not a bottle cap, a tent stake. There you go. Let's check it. Yep. All right, guys, so I've got a target here ringing up as a solid 35. So I've not had anything in the 30s yet, so no telling what this could be. I don't see anything. Something. Oh, boo. Boo. It's my first one today. So solid 35. All right, now I know. All right, guys, so here are my finds for my first hunt with the Multi-Kruzer. So I found a tent stake, a couple of bottle caps, a pull tab, a bunch of different either aluminum foil or what I think might be cans that were thrown into fires there on the beach. But I found several different targets of those. And then I found my little car here. So it got all sandy again after I put it in my beach bag. But this is a little car that I found. Like I said before, it's been a while since I found a little toy. But this is a 2011 Dodge Chrysler Rt. So that's pretty cool. I don't think it's been there very long because it's not really rusted out or anything. There's a little bit of rust like right here. But for the most part, it's in really good condition. And then I found these two. I'm pretty sure both of them are tent stakes. Obviously, they're super duper corroded. They're really rusty. They've been there for a while. The machine actually didn't pick these up. It discriminated them out, but they were pretty much on the surface, so I picked them up. But I figured I would address that in case y'all were like, well, if the discrimination was at 15, why did it pick them up? It didn't. It nulled over these two targets, but like I said, they were on the surface, so I just picked them up. So those are all my finds for my first hunt. Alright guys, so that's it for today's hunt with the Makro Multi-Kruzer. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. The machine handled beautifully while I was hunting there at the island. I didn't go super deep in the water. Pretty much what you guys saw when I was swinging the coil in the water is about as deep as I went. And the reason is because I really wanted to get a feel for the machine first before trying to do any water hunting. But it handled wonderfully in the wet-ish sand and fantastically in the dry sand. So I did want to answer a couple of questions that some of y'all had. One of the questions was, what is the difference between the Multi-Kruzer and just the Kruzer? So now, the machine that I received from Makro is the Multi-Kruzer. Now it doesn't say that on the box, but on the actual machine itself it does say Multi-Kruzer, and you can see that in the beginning of my video where I'm showing you guys adjusting the mode that I was going to hunt in. You can see on the very top of the screen it does say Multi and then in bold letters Kruzer. So I do have the Multi-Kruzer. That is the unit that I'm doing all of my testing on. Now the manual that comes with the Kruzer is this one. This is what it looks like. Now this manual applies to both the Kruzer and the Multi-Kruzer. So there are a couple of sections in here that it'll specifically say this only applies to the Multi-Kruzer. One of those sections is the frequencies. So now the Multi-Kruzer does have multiple frequencies, whereas the regular Kruzer does not. Okay, so the second thing I wanted to address was the headphones. A couple of y'all did ask me if you can use your own headphones with that. So let me give you some information on that. So the headphones that I was using for this hunt are the headphones that came with the unit. Now these are wireless headphones. They are from Makro. You can see it does say Makro on both sides of it. Now the wireless headphones do come with this unit, so that is really nice. One thing that I do want to mention is with the wireless headphones, if you completely submerge the control box, you will not be able to use your wireless headphones, because once the control box is under the water, you're going to lose that connection since you don't have any wires to maintain the connection through the water. So if you're hunting in water that's right at the level of the control box, you might have spotty connection with your headphones, so just keep an eye on that. If you do plan on hunting with the Cruiser completely submerged, say you're going to do some snorkeling and hunting continuously underwater, then you have to buy the underwater headphones specifically for the Cruiser. You do also have the option of using your own headphones with the Cruiser. You do have to get the adapter though, 1/4 inch adapter, so you can pretty much get that anywhere if you don't already have one, but you can use your own headphones if you want. Alright guys, so overall my first impression of the Cruiser is a great one. I was very surprised at the zero chatter that it had when I was near or in the saltwater. That's actually really impressive. It is hard to find units that, yes, they might be completely waterproof, usually up to about 10 feet or so. It is hard to find a unit that is completely waterproof that doesn't also chatter in the water. If it's not specifically made for beach hunting, a lot of the times you will find units that are very chattery in the water. The Cruiser is not chattery, at least not from what I've seen in my first hunt. So I find that very promising, and I'm excited to continue to do some more water hunting with it. For more information on the Makro Cruiser, I do have some links located just down below in the description of the video. Make sure to check that out. I do also have links for my digger pouch, the pinpointer, the Ceto scoop, all of the gear that I use in my video. You can find links for that in the description below. I know a lot of y'all really like the digger pouch that I use, and it's fantastic. It can hold a lot of stuff, so that's really, really good. And it does have holes in it, so the sand can filter out, and then if you're a water hunter, the water will just come right out, no problem. For access to exclusive content, make sure to check out my Patreon page. I do post bloopers and clips that didn't quite make it to my YouTube videos on my Patreon page, so if you want to check that out, I do have a link to my Patreon page located just down below. If you're new to my channel, hopefully you liked what you saw. If you did, make sure to hit this video with a thumbs up, and if you're not a subscriber to my channel yet, please make sure you do so by hitting the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and until next time, I will see you guys later.